Hello my friends, Uncle Misha here, and today we will try to take apart this Wyze Cam V3. I was kind of hesitating to take it apart for some time because actually I was using it. It was monitoring my 3D printer. So now, right now I don't have that many prints to do, so I decided to use the pause in my 3D printing in order to see what's inside. So I was really interested to do so let's just do it. As we know, this camera is sort of designed for outdoor use. I'm not sure how good and waterproofing is. I never actually dipped the camera in the water or anything like that, which actually would be another test to do, because if this thing gonna be sitting outside in the snow, in the water, who knows, water still can get in. So while when doing also teardown, we would see how good is the sealing is. So I don't really know how to start, but let's just start from obvious. Let's unscrew this big screw. Oh, okay. And if you want to see how this camera operates, please take a look at my previous video, this video, and here I show it how to connect and how to use it. Right, so I think for this I would need my surgery kit here, and I'm not sure what I'll try to use this kind of Sharpie pokey thingy. Look, like when I squeeze like this line gets bigger, so I assume we can try to jam our spudger right here and see if I would be able to. Okay, there's some progress. Okay, let's try on different sides. There's not much progress on this side. I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay, looks like it's glued. All right, here we are. We have some. I'm mostly gonna use this camera indoors, outdoors in order some certain circumstances. So I don't really care about waterproof sealing, but it's very important to know how good is this waterproofing is. Rather gonna be using this. Oh, that's so much easier. Just unglue it like this on the perimeter using this plasticky thingy. It's some sort of silicone-y. Is it? It's a tape. Yes, it's glued with tape. So yeah, we can retape it back because I have double-sided tape, and it looks like it's just not double-sided tape. It was specially shaped tape. Okay. Well, that clearly has to be replaced. Alright, well, yeah, now it's just gonna stay like this. I have double-sided tape, it's not a big problem. It still kind of sits on its own here. Oh my god, come out. Alright, we're done. Okay, let's gonna go to garbage. Now, clearly we have some kind of screw holes here. I see. How we're gonna get those out? I'm gonna use my that was, maybe I should have done it. Idea is probably to turn it to the side and then try to use that sucks. Actually, I pushed them down. I need different ones. Okay, so that's gonna be my advice to you. Don't rush and don't push. Wow, even these guys, which are pretty sharp, is not working. Okay, let's try, no, not this. Let's try this little teeny tiny screwdriver. Try to kind of poke it out. So first of all, the lesson here is not to rush, but lesson number 2, I'm gonna show you how to fix it in case it's happened to you. So make a little wire like this with a tiny hook over here, and then you push it inside, push, and then turn it, make a hook go right under this little white thingy, and fish it out. Just like this. Right, that was a few minutes of moment, like none of those things helped me because even this guy was too thick to go in. Anyways, I had it fixed. Alright, so let's see what kind of, looks like it needs a bit bigger. Alright, now it's happening. Okay. Okay, let's figure out what next. How do we push this out? Okay. Oh, it's not gonna be... Oh, I see now what's going on here. Not gonna be getting out easily. And clearly there is something interfering. Oh. Here we are, finally. Because I think it has a gasket here. Ta-da! Oh, here we are. We are in. And it's actually, again, nicely done. It's much more modular than I expected. Okay, so we have over there the speaker wire and the power and USB wire, and actually it looks like it is full USB, not just power. There are 4 connectors coming out of there, so that's actually interesting. Okay, let's disconnect speaker. Let's disconnect USB. Here we are, and look at this. If you pay attention over there is a like gunk. So those wires are all gunked up. So just to make sure there is no water ingress. I'm not sure how this speaker sealed. We can just unscrew it and take a look, but highly likely it will be all either glued or using some sort of gasket as well. I see. What is this? Yes, it is rubber. So this actually, that's potential failure point over here, because gasket is over here, rubber gasket. It doesn't have any like ridge which would press against. This presses flat against this back, and when it presses flat like that, there is a higher possibility of water getting in. Not getting into the speaker, actually getting around this how you call it, the enclosure. So this is, yeah, this is potentially problematic spot. If you want to make it a waterproof, you better take some kind of grease and like smear grease around here and walk it in there. Another problem, we don't know what kind of gasket is this, so you have to take grease which is okay for gaskets, like not synthetic grease, some sort of silicone ceramic based grease, which usually does not interfere with with rubber like that. But something to keep in mind, I don't think this is really good waterproofing over here. So let's move on. Let's put it over here. Like, okay, I'll remove all those tools. I don't think I need all this jazz. I don't need all this now. Maybe one screwdriver. Okay, gonna put it here. Gonna put these little parts here, and this is gonna here. Okay, I decided to zoom in a little bit, and let's take a look at this gasket over here. So this is very simple silicone, looks like rubber gasket, and it doesn't really have any sort of indentation again in order to press against it. So essentially it sits flat like that towards the wall. So again, maybe nice to grease it up if you want a better waterproofing. Not sure how critical is this, but here we are. So okay, let's take it a little bit more apart. and then we're gonna talk about let's take a look what we have first on this side. Okay, we have several components over here. Okay, so this is clearly, I'm gonna use this pokey thingy. Clearly over here is a power regulation circuitry, because judging by those inductors over here, all right, this is microcontrol, highly likely, a regulator controller, and it look like it uses several voltages, because usually one inductor for one voltage is enough, unless they use some inductors as a filtering chokes on the input here, just to make sure over long USB wires you don't gonna introduce any kind of pick up any interferences of those chokes, gonna kind of chop them off. So it's really hard to see what are those, so we're gonna take a close-up photos of this. Is yeah, the only thing I can read nice and clear is that Ingenic T31, this is the main brain of the operation. This is Wi-Fi chip over here, clearly Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. I'm gonna again take a look what the heck is this up close. I don't know what is this and that. I don't think you need that. Like one of those could be a flash memory, but it's really hard to tell because it's really hard to see. It's like super tiny font here. So we're gonna take a close-up picture of this thing, and we're gonna go figure out. There is a clock over here, a resonator, and a few more smaller jobbies. Not sure what are those, but here we are. Okay, we have two more screws. Those two screws looks like these are for sensor. Not sure if we're gonna get to sensor, but who knows, maybe I'm gonna be feeling adventurous today, because I don't want to introduce any dust to sensor, but on the other hand, like, who cares really, like a little bit of dust doesn't really make much of a problem. Okay, so we have two board construction. Clearly there is another board down there, and the flex cable and two wires coming down. Now it's very important not to mix them up, because I do believe, just kind of funny, yeah, I have to remember, do believe this wire is for the infrared shutter, and another wire which goes, I believe, to LEDs up the front. Can I just disconnect those two? Okay, all right, so this is highly likely. Oh, or microphone should be there as well. So we just disconnect the flat flags. Cable. Okay, so now we freed our camera here. So this is wide angle lens. I think it is 2.8 millimeter wide angle. So it's pretty wide angle. Okay. Curious what are those pins, are not populated. We have another QFN over here. Curious what is that? Oh, it's actually, yeah, it's indicated here. So ER cut, so it's a infrared shutter, and over here is microphone, and this is speaker. So yeah, this assembly has all that. So this is clearly a Wi-Fi antenna, and we running Wyze V3 blah 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 31 C2053. Is it running like Texas Instrument Joby for Wi-Fi? Potentially, this guy is so it is version 1.4 from what? From October 10th 2020. So yeah, so this is relatively old unit, and I got it like in spring of 2021. So yeah, everything gets in Canada pretty late. So here, okay, let's see if we can. Okay, let's not gonna touch sensor yet, because I actually would like to take a close-up photo of it as well. So let's go down, let's go further. So what, we have four more screws right here. This time they are white. Or, I mean, silver, not white. Let's remove this board. Looks like we don't really have much of a... Why are you stuck? Ah, it has this... Alright. So here we are, a little teeny tiny microphone, and that's it. And again, this is transparent. This plastic is transparent for the infrared, right? So, but for us, it looks totally not transparent. Pretty cool. Let's put it here. So here is the infrared board. Sorry, that's the board with LEDs. Also, it has one switch, and also it has micro SD slot over here. So yeah. So over here on the LED side, there are two transistors. Probably the transistor which drives the, not probably, highly likely which drives the LEDs, and several 7.5 ohm resistors, probably for a purpose of current limiting. Not sure why would they be here otherwise. A little bit kind of how you do it over here on the back side. Soldering job. Yeah, kind of kind of funny to see that. Three transistors actually over here. Not sure what this other transistor gonna be doing here. So there are two D3 D1 indication LEDs. They blink like different colors, let's say like blue or green or whatever. So maybe one transistor for no, cannot. This guy, I don't think they need this little tiny guy, say the switching transistors to turn them on and off. Okay, so those. Yeah, it looks like we have two different sets of LEDs. This can be infrared, but those guys, they look a little bit different color. So I clearly remember reddish LEDs when it is in infrared mode, but those guys, I'm not sure what are they. Are they for regular white LEDs? Yeah, I don't know, have to double check that somehow. To be, even if I apply some voltage to those diodes, the reverse in forward, like, I mean, there is no light emission, so I don't know, either are they all like actually infrared LEDs and I just don't see it. Also, it's pretty bright in here, so that's maybe okay. So let's say, but clearly they have like a voltage drop, so yeah. Anyways, whatever. Probably I just don't see it. So let's assume those are infrared. So here, okay, so this is pretty much it on this board with a whole bunch of infrared LEDs and little tiny LEDs like an indication. There is no any more active components and things like that. Mostly just utility things. Okay, so we're gonna take some pictures of this board. I'm not gonna put it back in a case at the moment. Let's take a look more closer on this one. So here, okay, so this is pretty much it on this board with a whole bunch of infrared LEDs and little tiny LEDs like an indication. There is no any more active components and things like that. Mostly just utility things. Okay, so we're gonna take some pictures of this board. I'm not gonna put it back in a case at the moment. Let's take a look more closer on this one. Alright, so I have a little bit more information now after poking around the internet, and so here we are. So this dude is quite beefy RISC apparently processor. It's Nginx T31, can go up to 1.5 gigahertz. It has separate video encoding processor which can do H.265, H.264 and MPEG. Can have 1 gigabit or 512 megbit of RAM. So it's actually pretty powerful dude, so nice. It has some other bunch of other features. Can have some image processor which actually can do some denoise, some kind of real-time image processing. That's pretty cool little dude. Let's go to another important dude. So this dude is Realtek 8189 FTV. I thought it has Bluetooth, turned out to be it's just Wi-Fi. So this is the dude, and this his antenna. Okay, let's go further. This dude is 128 megbit flash serial flash memory, which is obvious. Okay, so this guy are voltage regulators. I still cannot wrap my mind, why do you need LB28 and LB12. It's a 1.2 volt voltage regulator and 2.8 volt voltage regulator. I'm not sure if I can trust that because it was really hard to find what are those two, but here we are. So this dude, it was kind of surprise to me, but obvious. It is motor driver, and the motor driver is required to drive the infrared shutter over here. Yep, I thought it's gonna be just transistors, but apparently cannot be just a transistor, like a switch transistor on and off. So then this little dude is actually voltage regulator. That's all I know. This guy is A4003C. I have no idea, couldn't find any more than that. Luckily I find out that information to confirm that this is actually voltage regulator. So let's swap it on other side. Over here we have another LB16, which is apparently 1.6 volt LDO. You know, if you can trust it or not, I don't know, but that's all I got. This dude turned out to be 2 watt audio amplifier over here, and kind of obviously we need audio amplifier because we have speaker. That's all we have. And also I decided to take a look at the sensory thingy here. So over here, here's our sensor. It's not too big, not too small, apparently 5 megapixel or something to this extent, but I could not figure out any information on this guy, and I even took my microscope in order to take a look. Maybe there is some kind of little teeny tiny writings on the thing, but no. Here is some shots. I actually did better magnification than that, but it was really hard to hook up camera to actually take a photo when there is a higher magnification than 10x objective. So, or yeah, objective, I think it's called objective. Ocular, which that's where you're looking at, that's where was camera attached to, and the objective, that's the piece of the microscope which actually looking at the object. Anyway, so it was really hard to attach camera when it was more than 10x. So I had really hard times, but when I used like just put all original microscope attachments back in, and yeah, I could not see any kind of text on a sensor. So yeah, anyways, I guess we're not gonna know what kind of sensor is this. And we do have some kind of filter over here. I'm not sure if it's a infrared filter or infrared filter is actually on a sensor glued in, but that's what we have. There is something interesting I wanna show you something else. So apparently this is rubber gasket over here, right? And lens just sticks in this rubber gasket and creates another sort of waterproofy kind of contact. Again, it's debatable how good is this waterproofing is. So another aspect of this, that this front lens is actually open to elements and sand and dirt and grime. So this is not really awesome idea to have it like that, just because it's gonna get fingers, it's gonna get, like, it's already have some fingerprints and other, you know, dirt, and then you have to clean it up. You're gonna scratch the lens and pretty much you can throw it away. So yeah, I thought there's gonna be some sort of protection, so like a piece of glass, but no, you don't have it. Okay, so I guess we kind of poke around a lot, and let's just put it all together and discuss what can be improved in this camera. So a few things, I actually can talk about this if you're already keeping lens. So in some cases you would like to have not so wide angle lens, but more like a telephoto lens. In this case you would have to do two things: either replace this contraption completely, but the problem is with infrared shutter. So if you can really easily find the lens of this kind, I think it's 12mm, and replace it, but the problem is with infrared shutter. If you care about it, you have to find this contraption with the infrared shutter. Yeah, then otherwise I don't know. So yeah, that's all about I can say about lens. If you don't care, if you're just gonna take pictures at daytime, or you'll be relying on this star camera or whatever it is, like, you know, or you would have some floodlight which actually gonna light up the scene you try to take video, that's fine. That's gonna be good, but otherwise you would have to have infrared filter, sorry, infrared shutter. Yeah. So I am assembling the sensor assembly. I hope I didn't introduce too much dust and dirt into the system, but here we are. So infrared cut goes in here. Okay, so now I'll try to assemble it quickly. I'm gonna spare you some time and not gonna show you how I'm gonna do that. And then when we assemble it, then, oh yeah, another thing I thought about, it's also possible to replace this antenna. So you can make a hole in the case. If you want to have external antenna, make a hole in the case and attach external antenna for better Wi-Fi reception in case your camera is quite far from your switch or router. So that's quite you know, or access point. That's quite I would say it's quite a cool upgrade would be to replace the antenna. Okay, so let's me assemble it. So here are the final touches, and looks like actually this screw that actually gave me some problems, it's completely screwed. So now I have to like poke those thingies back. Oops, you see that? It doesn't even go in. It's just, yeah, I guess I have to like, yeah, whatever, stay there. I guess I would have to like glue something there, MacGyver or something. Okay, those thingies, let's put them back on. Yeah, well, this can happen too. And then let's just, yeah, it's gonna stay. Don't forget to clean up the lens. Okay, the base does not that of a big deal. Let's try if it actually operates. Okay, so now I connected this USB cable and I just plop it into my power bank over here. That's the easiest way of powering this thing up, and see what's happening. So there is some red light. That's sort of sign of life, and there is some clicking going on there. I think it's switching the shutter, infrared shutter. Blinking, blinking. I think it's good. I think it's shows some signs of life. Yeah, blue blink. Oh, okay, blue is connected. So solid blue light, I mean camera is connected. Really, really good. So it is back with us. So yeah, I think I like the camera. After looking inside, I see how nicely modularly this thing made, and as usual, Wyze actually created nice and good product. You know, I like it even more. So hope guys this was useful video for you, and if you have any comments, suggestions, ideas, please comment away, and if you like my videos, please subscribe, and see you next time on another episode of Inside Out Electronics. Ciao.